scores on the AP tests. As an admin team, we've come to our agreement to censor the student newspaper, and so we're going to take 3 minutes first just to kind of discuss our reasons. So, first of all, our main overarching reason to make the decision we did was because it followed, we believed, the same conclusion as Hazelwood, because we thought that the public eye and the community looking into this would cause a huge disturbance, not only in our school, but in the community itself. And we believe that we held the privacy to eliminate the possibility of legal or physical harm being taken towards the teacher, students, or our school as a whole. We also thought that being a public school and being the form of government, we are able to prohibit certain speech, such as the one in the student newspaper. And also, we would like to just state that Virginia has no student freedom press laws as a way to kind of back up the teacher that took that time.
I would also just like to touch on the fact that the main source being mentioned in that article was a private conversation between two teachers, and the one being interrogated was not aware that it was on the record. So we don't think that it would be fair to release that form of journalism.
I think that's it from my end. So I think now we'll open it up to the journalism teacher.
We are just trying to inform the public and not cause a disruption, and we just want to get the information out there instead of information being spread throughout the students, whereas they can cause rumors and things can be spun in a different way than they are actually to be. And we just want to show that if we can say this like as a school rather than like hear it from like other local newspapers, then it can prove our integrity and that we are aware rather than shoving it under the rug.
Now, I'll open it up to everybody.
As the newspaper editor and a representative for the newspaper staff, we want to put out the understanding that word of mouth is more dangerous to the school's reputation than putting out the true story. And while we agree some censorship is necessary, publishing through the school's newspaper can uphold the integrity of the school rather than false accusations picked up from outside sources such as local news or social media of students and the outside community. And by publishing this article, we can keep the school's best interest at heart.
I'd also like to speak. I'm one of the news reporters, and publishing this will really bring your reputation a lot higher than if you don't, because if you try to cover this up and if you don't let us explain what the story is and get a baseline of facts, that's just going to seem more seedy to you guys. And this is a great school, like we really enjoy it, and so making it seem like we're trying to hide things and cover things up is going to make less people want to come here. You're going to get less funding because you won't have as many students coming to this school, and what parent is going to want to send their kid to this school if they know that they have teachers that can change things? Because if a teacher can raise AP scores, why can't a teacher lower AP scores? So why on earth would someone want to send their kid to your school?
You have a new teacher who has been here for a year or less, and in comparison to a teacher that's probably 10 years, been here for 20 plus years, and why would a younger teacher who's probably just starting off her job want to sacrifice that and, put her job at stake for what would be a rumor if that was the case? But I don't think that a teacher who's probably very dedicated for her job and wants her kids to do well and, starting out her career would want to put that at risk.
We're going to take 2 minutes just for any comments or questions, just for us as an admin staff.
Learn about the teachers' reputation and their safety and whatever they have going on. But I do think that the hearsay and the gossip and not really knowing exactly what happened will be more damaging to the teacher's reputation in the long run than if you just, if you try to sweep it under the rug, people aren't going to know what happened, and that's going to make them more mad. because they're going to start imagining stuff and just adding on to the story, and it's going to get worse as it continues. I think if they publish the paper, like as a student source, I've heard about it from 2 different people, and none of these people are actual sources. They're children. They're people who go to the school. People know that this is happening, and I think it's better if you get it out in a way that's palatable.
With that, my main concern with that is that you're saying that the rumors could be made up and spread around. I can't see how we can get sources that aren't just rumors. Because right now, all we have are the conversations that were held between 2 teachers. And from the student newspaper, I'm not completely 100% sure if the teacher has a part in writing the newspaper or if it was fully students. And I just can't fully trust that the newspaper in itself was written by a source that we can trust completely, because student opinion is fully reasonable. And I think that from your stance with the rumors being spread around, I don't fully think that the rumors would have no place in the article itself.
Am I allowed to reply?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I think even the journalism teacher, and that the fact that it's a whole, like, there's an adult here that's, like, managing it, so it's not just students coming together. And also, you can review the newspaper. You are the principal of the school. Before publishing, they would want you to read it and go over it, and you can change what you think is untrue, because you do know about the situation. You can change things that you find to be untrue, or you don't like how they're worded, and you can put out a statement. Like, since it's the school newspaper, you have control. But what you don't want to happen is for it to get out, and then other people write about it. Because if it can't be published in school, it will be published somewhere else.
And to piggyback off that, we're giving you the opportunity right now to not only work against us, but work with us on this story and help us. You can put in a statement of your own as being the principal to sort of settle the tensions and the rumors, and it doesn't have to be a hard-hitting piece. It can just be an explanation to ease parents' minds, students' minds, people that are going to send their kids to our school. I think that that's very important.
We heard what you guys had to say. We very much appreciated all the points that were brought up. And I think the conclusion that we are going to come to is that we will have the students and the teacher work together for one article, and then that's brought to us. We add all of our points. We make any edits we need, and then instead of publishing it through a student newspaper, we publish it through our school's website. Because we believe that for parents and the community is a more trustful source and one that they can follow more rather than the student newspaper. I'm not saying that it's not trustful, but I'm saying that it's also easier to access. So that's the agreement that we've come to.
I'd like to thank everybody for being here today. We are here to address a case brought on by students on the basis of censorship, and I would like to currently give the floor to the student paper's editor-in-chief.
Good evening, esteemed school board and esteemed school board president and school board members. Thank you for making time in your schedule. Thank you for making time in your schedule to hear our statement. So the order of events of speakers tonight will be firstly one of our reporters from the school newspaper talking about the reputation of the school district. Secondly will be another reporter talking about the agreement that we made with the principal. And the third student will talk about the conditions of the agreement.
Hello, I am the reporter. Nice to see you all. So what we wanted to bring to your attention is the fact that obviously this will go on public record once, like this whole meeting will go on public record. And right now, the whole school, like all of the school students are willing to work with you on this. We want to work with the principal. We want to work with you guys so that we have a consensus on one story to present, because this is obviously a big issue. Messing with AP scores is not a laughing matter, and it's really serious. So we want facts, and we want, straight answers as to what's going on. Many people in the community do. So right now you have the opportunity to work with us, because after this, it's just going to go everywhere, and people can slander and say anything they want and say that you're trying to cover this up, that you don't care about the well-being of your students, which will bring down the reputation of us. It will cause us less funding, it won't be good for you guys, is basically what I'm trying to say here. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Benjamin Goldstein. I'm a feature reporter, and I had questions about the reasoning between the principal and the way we were writing our article. The one thing I was asking about was, what is stopping him from taking our article off the website? He can keep it on there for maybe a day or so and then instantly take it off. We should also be able to post it on any of our websites, our Instagrams, or any of our social media, because it's going to be out there rather than him taking it off. It should just be out there so everyone doesn't know, so everyone knows what's happening, the truth. And I hope that is it.
Do we have any more comments from the newspaper staff?
Students, sorry. I'm choosing to stay anonymous. I'm a student at Middletown High School, and this is somewhat targeted towards the principal, but we are willing to work with him in the agreement that he gave us with some minor modifications. The editing needs to be a collaboration. We will not send you our paper and then you change stuff and publish it. You need to send it back and then we can collaborate so it's a team effort. Your censorship has to be reviewed by us also because it is our work. Also, in addition to the website, we'd like for there to be a print copy, like how we normally publish our newspapers, so that way this specific piece isn't just gatekept on the website. So, we are willing to make steps towards like your statement and whatever you choose to do, that is your personal choice. We can wait to publish our paper until after you release your statement, but one way or another, like, we're willing to work with you, but if not, if our terms don't suit you, we will find another source.
Any more comments? Okay, we would now like to open the floor to community members.
Community members, raise your hand.
As a parent, I am angry. The knowledge I recently learned about the school and mine and my kids' community disappoints me beyond belief. Not only are we surrounding our kids with faulty beliefs, but we are attempting to hide it from the community. My kids may not attend this school, but they are growing up surrounded with kids and now teachers who believe cheating without consequences is acceptable. I think the knowledge I have as a parent who chooses not to send their children to a school with these janky teachers should be shared to the whole community. Parents should know exactly what school their children are attending. Making the decision to release this information with a filter or not at all shows the exact reason why our world is going to hell in a handbasket.
Period.
My name is Jaden, and I'm a graduate of Middletown High School who had the same principal as my own just a year ago. And now I come back as a student teacher this semester, and I question his integrity in hiding the truth. Essentially, this agreement, quote unquote, is cherry-picking what he likes or dislikes from the student's article and limiting their freedom on what gets published if it doesn't adhere to his agenda. This is still censorship in the form of editorial power, which goes against the student's argument and takes the influential part of journalism away from them, that being their own freedom of speech within the newspaper. And as someone who has spent time with a journalism teacher and spent time with these children watching them grow, what he's doing is not letting them grow. You can't let these kids have their own power within a newspaper or writing or finding the truth, because you are not, like, if you don't like something and you're going to take away from what the actual truth is that they're putting out, what is that telling these kids? That when they're out in the real world trying to find stories, trying to get that scoop, that at the end of the day it doesn't matter? That at the end of the day that they could just have someone higher up to just take away what they're saying? That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
I'm the Middletown bishop, and I find it disgraceful for the principal and schools that hold a censor of cheating scandal story. As a bishop and mother to a large family, I would never allow my kids to attend a school where cheating is swept under the rug and not taken seriously. We need to raise our children with honest beliefs and responsible role models. I am afraid this will be a downfall for our community and ultimately start more rumors. If you fail to admit the truth to the children, they will grow up believing this is okay. If you wanted to write your own edited opinion, you might as well give a public statement and tell the entire truth. A Bible verse that I tell my children every morning: don't let anyone look down on you because you are young. Instead, set an example for the believers through your speech, behavior, love, and faith. Thank you. Have a good night.
Alright, yeah, because Lynn didn't make it to join us, we're short a member, I'm gonna stand in as community member number 4. So, I think that you all should know, if you don't recognize me, you will in a second. I own the convenience store on the corner across from the high school. And, you know, students come in all the time, at lunch and after school to buy snacks and drinks, but they also steal from me, like, all the time. So I don't know why we're worried about their free speech. They can't even just act right in general. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with your school, your administration, that you guys cannot keep a handle on these kids where they just do whatever they want? They just run around and they steal things and put things in their pocket. No wonder she homeschools her children. I would want to homeschool children if I had them too. All they're doing, run around, little delinquents. That's what this public school is. It's just a bunch of delinquents that are always stealing from me. That's why you can't come in at lunch without an adult. That's why we have to check your backpacks if you want to come in. I don't trust any of you. You got a job to do. You need to do it, or I'm going to vote someone else then, just so you know.
Period.
We appreciate all the comments that were made from local community members and people from the school newspaper. Now we would like to take a 5-minute break and
You could ask questions. You can ask questions before you break. Sorry.
Okay.
Yep.
Then we will now leave some time to ask questions of the school administration.
I'd like to ask the principal a question. As you stated in your first interview with the newspaper, is you had just seen this was gossip and hearsay from other teachers, when it is put in a statement that you had verified from the younger teacher that this was true. Do you verify that? Did you verify that? And were you just keeping it a secret from all the parents and students?
No secrets. However, yeah. However, I did verify that. That was not a secret, but yeah, I verified it. However, I thought that the majority of what was going to be written in that article was going to be student opinion, and I wanted to make sure first that that was going to be verified through the teacher themselves.
Then why did you not verify it through your superintendent or the school board, or tell us that there was a cheating teacher in our school, that you are now putting a bad rep and keeping it secret from all these parents who have kids with this teacher, or us who could have helped and do something in this situation and bring it to a full community matter instead of just taking it upon yourself to deliberate in this situation?
Being the principal of the school, I had thought that our team, we could have kept it.
Now it's ours. Now it's ours.
My assistant principal, I thought that I could have kept it kind of within in order to eliminate any, as I said, eliminate any possible legal troubles or any physical harm that could have come to the teacher themselves. You know, keeping the safety of and well-being of the teacher in mind. That was my main reason for not taking it to a higher level. I could have, I believed I could have kept it contained.
But, so you said you wanted to eliminate this from a legal standpoint. Do you not believe justice needs to be delivered onto the situation, onto the teacher who made some very questionable decisions and cheated the system in these children's right to education?
I did make my own action. This teacher was planning to work out 3 more years within our school, and I cut them short to just this year. So they will be retiring at the end of this year, rather than leaving now and leaving a class full of students that are left to a long-term sub who has a lot less experience than the teacher currently teaching.
So you think your decision, which is essentially a slap on the wrist considering all the sabotage that's done to these students, is above the law in that case?
I wouldn't say it's above the law, and I wouldn't say it's a slap on the wrist, since I'm making the teacher retire after this year, not having to work at the district anymore.
Do you think you should have deliberated with the superintendent? Are there anything other situations you've kept secret about teachers that we should know about? Because this now has discredited you as a principal, as you have now kept one situation under wraps. Are you keeping others under wraps from us too? because that has now discredited your honesty and the trust from the board, the superintendent, to you as a principal.
As I said before, I keep no secrets. So no, there are no secrets being kept. My assistant principal can tell you all about that. There are no secrets that are being kept.
But you do feel that a teacher who has lied, cheated, and made this school a dishonest view is better than getting someone who might not know what they're doing. You rather have almost a delinquent raising these students to be delinquents instead of getting some short-term teacher that could probably teach them a bit better and we could have more trust within. You'd rather have a non-trustworthy one? Is that what you're saying?
Can I say something? I feel that the slap on the wrist that we put in place, we didn't want this teacher to continue working at our school for very obvious reasons. But we also wanted to keep in mind the well-being and the education of our students. Since this teacher has had so much experience and has been at our school for over 20 years, we did not want to take away that opportunity of learning from someone like that from our students. So while we don't want them to, we don't want to employ them anymore, and which is why we are cutting their employment short, we wanted as much time as possible to find an equal replacement, and so we didn't want to take away anything from the children's education, which is why we didn't immediately fire them. But yeah.
But if she's such a good teacher, why did she have to change schools?
Period.
If she is such a good teacher and been teaching this long, why did she have to change the scores? What are our original scores that we should be basing teaching off of? Because we don't have those.
But I do not regret it. I do not trust the principal to tell and keep the whole truth on his website. Based on his past actions, it's reasonable to say that he does not value truth over Mrs. Peterson's reputations like the students do. It doesn't matter how hurt she'll be. As I always say, the truth may hurt, but it's better than continuing to be lame.
Oh, that's
One action.
Okay, any further comments?
Yeah, so we do not agree that the administration should be involved with the school newspaper. Only the students have the right to publish and report on this content, and they have every right to distribute their print version of the newspaper. The administration can draft their own code of conduct if they wish, but they should have or take no more course of action as you guys are being put on leave to implement any more decisions or opinions on what they publish. As further disruption, and it is a gross misuse of the school's power to implement censorship. And we are ultimately here to address this issue and have a responsibility to uphold ethical behavior.
And we will be asking admin for a paid leave from their status as we further investigate this, so we have no more say in our admin.
Period.
Could I propose an idea?
No.
Teaching history for 6 years, I'd say I'm a very good fit to replace the teacher who just happened to. I taught AP history for 6 years. I'll have you know. Huh?
That's not AP English.
Was this AP English?
Yeah.
Fire me.